It was the summer of 1970. The world outside seemed ordinary. College campuses were alive with students. Music drifted from radios, and life felt full of promise. For Donna, a 28-year-old nursing student in Hartford, Connecticut, it was a season of transition. She had just moved into a modest apartment with her best friend and roommate, Angie, another nurse in training. The two of them lived busy lives, long shifts at the hospital, evenings studying, and weekends unwinding in the comfort of their new home. But something came into their apartment that summer. Something they never invited. It started as a gift. Donna's mother, proud of her daughter's achievements and eager to brighten her life, walked into a small antique shop one day and noticed a doll. It wasn't glamorous, not like the porcelain dolls you see locked behind glass cases. No, this one was soft, simple, and familiar. A Raggedy Ann doll with her red yarn hair, round button eyes, and painted smile stitched across her cloth face. Her mother thought it was charming. Harmless. She bought it, wrapped it, and handed it to Donna for her birthday. Donna accepted it with gratitude, placing it on her bed as a decoration. It was just a doll, after all. A child's toy, now resting in the apartment of two grown women. Something playful, something nostalgic. But as days passed, the charm faded, and the doll began to change. At first, it was subtle. Donna would leave for class in the morning, tossing the doll neatly against her pillow. When she returned in the evening, she'd find it in a different position, its legs crossed, its head turned slightly to the side. Sometimes its arms were folded, other times stretched outward. She laughed it off at first. Maybe Angie had moved it. Maybe she had simply forgotten how she left it. But Angie swore she never touched the doll. Within weeks, the changes grew bolder. The doll wasn't just shifting in bed anymore, it was traveling. They'd leave it in the bedroom and find it sitting on the couch when they came home. Once, it was kneeling by the front door, as if waiting for them. Donna tried to brush it aside. Stress, lack of sleep, long hospital shifts, they could all explain her forgetfulness. But then came the notes. One afternoon, Angie came home to find a small piece of parchment paper lying on the floor. On it, written in crude pencil, were two chilling words: "Help us." She froze. Neither of them kept parchment paper in the house. They used notebooks, sticky notes, scrap paper from the hospital, but not this. Days later, another note appeared. This time it read, "Help Lou." Lou was Donna's fiancé. He stayed over often, sleeping on the couch. When he saw the note, his blood ran cold. The apartment, once warm and inviting, now felt suffocating. Something unseen was watching them, learning their names, scribbling desperate pleas in a childlike hand. Still, they tried to rationalize. They told themselves it was a prank. Maybe someone had a spare key. Maybe the neighbors were involved. But deep down, Donna and Angie knew. No one was breaking in. It was coming from the doll. Fear reached its breaking point. Desperate for answers, Donna invited a psychic medium into their apartment. The medium sat with the doll in her lap, eyes closed, lips moving in quiet whispers. After long minutes, she opened her eyes and delivered the story. According to her, the apartment complex had been built on land where a little girl once lived. Her name was Annabelle Higgins, and she had died tragically at just 7 years old. Her spirit, the medium claimed, had attached itself to the doll. She said Annabelle was lonely. She wanted to be loved. She wanted to stay with Donna and Angie because they were kind, nurturing, and safe. Donna's heart softened at the story. The idea of a lost little girl, trapped and seeking comfort, it was heartbreaking. Against all logic, she agreed. She gave Annabelle permission. Permission to stay. Permission to inhabit the doll. But this act of compassion was a mistake. The moment Donna welcomed Annabelle into her life, things began to escalate, and soon the doll revealed its true nature. Lou never trusted the doll. Even before the notes with his name, he despised it. He said it gave him chills. The way its stitched smile seemed too wide, too knowing. One night, he was sleeping on the couch when he awoke to something moving at his feet. In the moonlight, he saw it. Annabelle. The doll was climbing his body, inch by inch, until it reached his chest. He tried to move, but he couldn't. His body was paralyzed. He felt cloth hands wrap around his throat. Pressure built as invisible fingers pressed down, choking the air from his lungs. He struggled, his vision dimming, his heart pounding. And then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The doll was gone. The next morning, Lou woke with scratches across his chest. Deep, bloody gouges, like claw marks. It was no little girl's spirit. It was something darker. Donna and Angie, terrified, turned to experts. That was when they found Ed and Lorraine Warren, renowned paranormal investigators and demonologists. When the Warrens arrived, they immediately sensed the evil inside the apartment. Lorraine, a clairvoyant, confirmed their worst fear. "This is no child," she said, staring into the doll's button eyes. "This is an inhuman spirit, a demon. It pretended to be Annabelle Higgins to gain your trust. And now, it wants more than your sympathy. It wants your soul." The Warrens explained that demons cannot possess objects, only people, but they can manipulate objects, move them, write through them, even speak through them as a way to weaken and terrify victims. The notes, the scratches, the choking, all of it was part of a plan. Annabelle was a conduit, and Donna had given it permission to stay. The Warrens knew they had to act. A priest was called to perform an exorcism over the apartment. Holy water was sprinkled in every room. Prayers echoed against the walls, driving the darkness back. But the Warrens didn't stop there. They knew the doll could not remain. They took Annabelle with them. And that's when the nightmare truly began. The Warrens placed Annabelle in the backseat of their car, preparing to drive her to their home in Monroe, Connecticut. The trip was anything but ordinary. Ed later recalled that the doll seemed to fight them. The car swerved violently, brakes failed, and the steering wheel locked. Only after sprinkling holy water directly onto the doll did the chaos subside, allowing them to reach home alive. Once inside the Warrens' house, Annabelle continued her tricks. She levitated, moved from room to room, and even growled at visitors. Finally, the Warrens constructed a special glass and wood case, lined with prayers and blessed by priests, to contain her. The case bore a warning in bold letters. Positively, "Do not open." But even confined, Annabelle's legend grew. Visitors reported overwhelming feelings of dread while standing near her. Some claimed to see her shift inside the case. Others felt sudden illness, dizziness, or nausea. One story is told of a young man who mocked the doll, banging on the glass and daring her to do her worst. On his ride home, he lost control of his motorcycle and crashed. He died instantly. His girlfriend survived, but she swore the last thing she heard before the crash was his laughter cut short by a scream. Annabelle had claimed another victim. For decades, she has remained locked away in the Warrens' occult museum, sitting silently behind glass. To the untrained eye, she looks harmless, just a rag doll with yarn hair and a painted smile. But those who've studied her, those who felt her presence, know the truth. Annabelle is not a toy. She is not a child spirit. She is a mask, a vessel, used by something far older, far darker. And though she sits quietly in her case, her stitched smile unchanged. Some swear they see her move. Some swear she waits. And some whisper that one day she'll be free again.